Well, I guess I'll start with I'm Amy Spriggs. I am the Director of Marketing Strategy here at Tomorrow's Technology Today. Thank you for joining us on our webinar today for Microsoft Planner. Today's webinar is being recorded. I will monitor the Q&A, so feel free to ask any questions you have in there. We want you not to necessarily do that in chat, but in the Q&A, and then I'll make sure to get those answered. Our presenter today is Katie Cramer. Katie is a training and project specialist for TTEC-T, offering Office 365 and security awareness training. Katie has over 15 years experience in the IT field and a degree in business information systems. I'd like to welcome Katie Cramer.
Thanks, Amy. Welcome, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today. We are going to talk about one of my favorite tools, which is Microsoft Planner. I love to do project management. That is something that I've done for probably about 5 years now with managing IT projects. So I like that Planner is a nice lightweight alternative to using, let's say, Microsoft Project or Jira or some of these other super expensive kind of different programs that you might need to use. But Planner is a very lightweight version. It comes with your Microsoft 365 subscription. If you're not sure if you have it, just go to portal.office.com, log in with your Microsoft account, and click on the little waffle, look at your apps, and you should see Microsoft Planner on your list. So Planner is a project management tool that is for teams, and it is online, so it is part of your Microsoft 365 subscription, which means that it plays well with Microsoft Teams, SharePoint, OneNote. So all the different tools are kind of, you can see how they start to come together within your Microsoft 365 subscription. So when to use it, so you will use Planner to create plans and tasks. You can set due dates and send reminder emails. Make sure that the people are getting their work done to keep the project moving. You can update the status of the task. You can share files, and you can also monitor progress and make adjustments to the plans. So kind of as you go, anything that comes that kind of knocks you off the rails a little bit, you can make adjustments to it and get it back online. So again, it is cloud-based, so you can use it from a web browser. Just again, go to portal.office.com and get signed in from there. There is also the mobile app available for iOS and Android devices. So if you just go out to your store and just search for Microsoft Planner, you can install it from there onto your smartphone or tablet. Again, how does it compare to Project? So I will say in a lot of ways that they're similar. You can create plans, you can organize and assign tasks, you can share files, you can communicate with your colleagues, and you can get updates on your team's progress. So all the different things that are the same. But the difference is, and how this is the lightweight version, is that you cannot add the dependencies in Planner like you do in Project. So you know how if you start to change your dependencies within Project, and it kind of reshuffles your whole project plan, whereas in Planner, it doesn't do that. You just have the little task cards available, and from there, you're able to kind of move things around or reassign them, push out the due date as needed. So, and you also can't do like the Gantt charts and some of that fancy stuff in Planner that you can do with Projects. So to get started, let's just take a look. I just mocked up a little demo plan for you to be able to see. So it's just called Planner Webinar, and I pinned it to my favorites just using the little star. If you want to assign any of your current projects to yourself, or let the people know, whoever's working on your project, that's how they can add it to their favorites. Otherwise, it'll just show up within the recent list, and that thing can just go on for miles with all your different project plans. So the first thing that I want to talk about is up at the top, you can see there's a to-do, in progress, completed, and then add new bucket. So these are all called different buckets, and that's kind of like a swim lane for your different task cards. And if you want to create a new bucket, you just click on it and give it a name, and there you go. It's going to create a separate column for those tasks. So here you can see I already have a couple things in progress as well as a couple of things that are completed. So I'm going to click on Add Task, and I'll just say Test. I'll give it a due date for today. I'm going to assign it over to Amy. And let's see if I can give it the details. Whoop, lost it. There we go. So here you can see that it's got all the different options available. So I can tell it which bucket that I want this task to go in. So I want Amy to test today. Progress, you have the option of not started, in progress, or if it's completed. We're going to put that it's in progress. You can also give it the priority. We're going to say she's going to start it today, and it's also going to be due today. So this is pretty easy to do. We're just going to put that she needs to test the webinar. You can also add a checklist, so anything specific that you want to make sure that she's testing. So let's say she needs to test audio, she needs to test sharing, and you can just go on for as many items as you need to add a checklist. And then as Amy gets this completed, she's able to just fill in the bubble, and that's going to strike out the item and mark it as completed.
And I can tell you too, I got a notification in Teams and an email pretty much right away when you assign that task.
Perfect. So yes, that is very important for the notifications. You are able to set it to send it to the group so that people are notified when they're getting assigned tasks. That way they don't have to think about going out to Planner to look to see what they have due today or what's coming up. They can just simply check their email and they're going to see that they got assigned the task. You're also able to add attachments. So if I click on this, if I want to add a file, a link, or a SharePoint site, I can do that from here. So I'm just going to click on File. That's going to bring up our File Explorer. And I'll just add this picture of myself. And here you can see now there's an attachment added to this task. The nice part too with using Planner is that you can put comments on the task. So if Amy and I need to chat back and forth, anything that she needs to make me aware of or anything like that, when she adds a comment, it's going to send the notification back to me. And then since Microsoft 365 is so good about auto saving, we don't have to do anything. There's no making sure that you hit save on this card or anything like that. You can just close out of here. I also want to point out that in typical Microsoft fashion, they do have the three little dots at the top for your options. So if you need to copy this task, let's say that you have this on multiple plans that you're working on, you can copy it from here and you can add it to different project plans. You are also able to move the task. So if you're like, oh shoot, I meant to add it to this other plan, you can do that from here as well. If you need a copy of the link, or if you need to just delete the whole thing altogether, you can do that as well. So we are going to close out of that. And here you can see, here's all the different items that we just added. And then from here, so if you want, you can go in and you can pull up all those different options on the screen that we were just looking at, or if you just want to take it and drag it and drop it as Amy gets it done, here you can see it just updated to show that we now have 3 items that are completed. So when I look in here, I can see we have all 3 of these options, or all 3 of these tasks already done. We can also see that as far as the checklist goes, there are still a couple items remaining that we need Amy to test our audio and sharing capabilities. Let's see, so, and then up at the top here too, you can see who has access to this plan. So if they don't have access and you have it marked as private, you will not be able to add them. You'll have to make it public, and from there you are able to add in whoever you want and be able to assign them tasks. Amy, does anyone have any questions about the board view or anything about assigning the tasks?
No, not right this second, but when you assign those tasks, can you assign the task to more than one person?
That is a great question. Let's open this back up. Let's say that we also want to assign it to Lisa. So here you can see that Lisa is not a member of the plan, so we will need to give her access. So we're going to hit assign and add. So from here now you can see, yes, you can add other people. Just make
Perfect.
sure again that you give them permission If you're not okay with them having access to the plan, then you're going to want to figure out some other way to get them to do the task. Or maybe they're outside of your organization, so you need to just maybe take a note for yourself, maybe to follow up with a third party and make sure that they're getting something done for you.
Perfect.
Let's see. So if you want to be able to filter, you can do that as well. So if you want to go by the due date for what's coming up, or if you want to do by any of these other options, you can do that as well. Of course, it's very important as far as your employees go, make sure that no one is getting overloaded and that they're carrying the whole weight of the project. And so, and then you can also do the group by bucket. So let's say that we want to do assign to. Here we can see, it's kind of like a scorecard. You can see what's assigned to me, what Amy has, and then what Lisa has. And take note that that task that we just assigned, that was assigned to Amy, is also assigned to Lisa. They both show that they have one task left. So here you can see they have a really nice chart view, I think, for being able to keep tabs on what's going on with the project. So if you want to look at it by bucket, by priority, or by member, you can do that from here. And then however you want to set the different filters, you can do that. I love the schedule view too. So this is going to bring up just a calendar view. And if you want, you can also add this into your Outlook. So if you want to add the plan to an Outlook calendar, that's going to take all the different tasks and that's going to just plop them in, and it'll show up, it'll look like a shared calendar within your Microsoft Outlook. So that's how you know the difference in what your normal calendar is versus what's included within the plan. Or if you want to look at it week by week, you can do that too. However you want to look at it. So here you can see we have all the different options for the plan. So the conversation, that's going to take me over to my email within Outlook web app. And that'll be anything that's related to this plan. I'll see all those different emails available. I also have the option to look at and see who the different members are, any files that are associated with it. And then I also have the notebook and the sites. So I want to talk about this real quick. So the notebook, you can create a OneNote notebook that is attached to your plan. This is a great place. Yes, they do have the little option on all those different task cards to be able to add notes. But if you have some great big huge project that takes, let's say, a year, and you need to be able to keep track of your notes, you can tie the notebook to it. So then when you go into Microsoft Teams and you have everything set up, you can go back and you can have your planner tab, you can have your OneNote tab, you can have everything all right there together, and then use Teams to be able to communicate with your team and talk about what's going on with the project. And then there's also the option for sites. So there is a thing called a team site within SharePoint. So from here you can see we have our SharePoint site already set up. So it's got all the different web parts that are available. Here you can see the picture of myself that I just added to that task card. So any attachments are going to be in here as well. So this is a nice little place. Any news that you want to add that might affect your project, you can do that here. This is just like setting up just a basic intranet site within SharePoint. Just another way to be able to communicate with your team and be able to keep everyone on the same page. So, and then you also have the option for your documents. So any documents that you need for your plan, any, as you go and you build content and you're adding photos and those kinds of things, you can go in here and you can see all those different files. And let me show what it looks like in Teams as well. Open this up. So for anyone who hasn't used Microsoft Teams, so Teams is a tool that you can use to collaborate with maybe the department that you're in or a certain project team. You can go in and you can do join or create a team. You can create several different plans and assign them to a certain team within Microsoft Teams, and then just go up to the top and you're going to click on the little plus sign, and if you type in planner, as soon as this pops up, And this is also going to add in any tasks that you have in Planner or also Microsoft To Do. So when you click on that, let's see how far I can go, because I already added Planner to our tabs at the top. And it should pull up all the different plans that I have.
It was taking a little bit of time for me earlier too.
There we go.
Yep, there you go.
And here you can see, and it's telling me that I already have that tab available. So let me close out of here. And here you can just see what it looks like. And here we're going to have our board. There we go. So if you want to as well, you can just work it from here. So you don't even have to use a web browser. You can go in here, you can click on add a task. You can say demo, give it a due date, and you can just do everything from here that you just did within the browser. And now your whole team's going to have access to this. And here you can see too, in our post section, for one, you can see that we've added our planner webinar to the channel. And then here you can see Amy also left a message just asking what else we need to do to get our project done. So,
I will tell you,
and
I prefer going in this way as opposed to opening it the other way, just because I live in Teams. So it is nice that you can do it both directions. That is really helpful.
absolutely. So yeah, you can go through and you can add everything all right here within Microsoft Teams. And that is definitely something that we recommend. It's what we do, keeps it easy. So it keeps everyone all within one tool rather than looking all over the place. You don't have to look at email and then also go out and um, wait for some readable version of Microsoft Project. So makes it nice and easy to use. And again, everyone has access to use Planner. It is part of your business subscription. So if you have any trouble finding it, just give us a call and let us know. Amy, is there anything else you can think of that we want to talk about?
No other major needs to discuss, just that it is nice and easy, that you don't have to do the web version all the time, that you can go right through Teams, and just the ease of use with the other Microsoft products and how they all tie together. That is really, really helpful. And I did love that I got the notification in both places, not just in Teams, but also in my email. So if I'm away and maybe I don't have Teams on my phone or I don't have it open, I can, switch it out. Or, if I don't want to open my business email for a few days and I just want to open Teams, I can do that too.
Absolutely. Does anyone have any questions about
I,
Microsoft Planner?
I think you have covered everything.
Awesome. Okay, good.